Good morning. Good afternoon to some of you. There we go. Just wanted to get that up there for you guys. Hi, you guys. My name is Jessie. I'm with Decker Truckline, and we are talking about the ELD mandate today. We're going to discuss a few things besides just the ELD mandate, but there's a couple things going on here at Decker that are pretty exciting, and I figured I better fill you in on what's going on. So, as always, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe, and then of course click on the bell so that you get all the notifications for every time that we go live, which is usually on Tuesdays at noon Central Time, 11 Mountain. And let's talk about the ELD. So don't forget to subscribe, and also check out our Facebook page, which you can access at facebook.com/DTL Inc. So talking about the ELD system. If this is news to you and you don't know what it is, ELD mandate is basically putting in place the electronic logs for 2019, December 18th of 2019. Everybody needs to be transferred into the ELD system. Now, we are already on electronic logs here at Decker. We've been on electronic logs since 2010. And we were then, in 2017, when they put in the ELD mandate, we were then grandfathered in with our AOBRD device. Now, during this time, we were given obviously an extra 2 years for the 2017 to 2019 to transition into the full ELD system, or the updated one. So that's what we're doing right now. We're in the midst of it. And I mean, we're full into the midst of it, because come June 1st, we're going to be fully, the whole division, all of our divisions, the whole fleet is actually going to be transferred into that new ELD system. So it's the same Omnitrax that we have now, well, I should rephrase that. It's the same equipment that we have now, but the software is updated. So you don't need to go into the shop to get new equipment installed in your truck if you're here at Decker. Instead, you'll actually be getting just an update in the software once you've taken the training. Now, training isn't scary, so please don't get overwhelmed. Although they do provide a wonderful training at Omnitrax that you can actually take a look at, and you'll be getting the training through our safety department as well. So the training is through Infinity and the Transflow app. So check it out if you haven't already. We'll talk a little bit more about that and how that will affect you. It will not affect your hours of service, so know that coming into it. Absolutely will not affect your hours of service differently than they already are. It will take some time to get used to, like anything else. So be patient, number one, and always double check your work. That's what I have noticed, one of the biggest differences between the ELD system and the AOBRD is making sure that you are always checking your work, and they're going to make sure you're doing that by having you certify single thing. So that's that. And before we dive in, I was talking about the equipment. I figured I better give you a little look-see into what we've got going here at Decker. So if you don't already know, we have newer model equipment as is. And during the last 3 years or so, we've gone from having trucks that were 3 years old to, as an average age, to having trucks that are 18 months old as an average age. So we're constantly increasing the quality and the newer models of our trucks, but not just the trucks themselves. We're putting a lot of amenities in those. And we're basically trying for a more comfortable truck, a more comfortable home away from home for you. And if you have any suggestions, we're always open to suggestions. We do have suggestion boxes at all of our terminals, so check that out. You can go ahead and put that information in there. You can also get a hold of any of us. You can get a hold of any of the recruiters at 888-668-0698, and we can always pass that along as well. But yeah, we'll take suggestions. We've made some changes because of it. And with these new trucks that we've got, the 579 Peterbilts, and we've got some 760 Volvos, that's on the refrigerated side, and they're ultra loft sleepers. And then in the flatbed side, they're 579 Peterbilts, and they are 740 Volvos. So immaculate equipment and very fully loaded. this is what we've got going for you. So in the last couple of weeks, we have announced not only putting the microwaves in the trucks. Now remember, these trucks are pretty well equipped to begin with. We have APUs in them. We have refrigerators and bunk heaters and CB units. We have navigation, Sirius radio. We have onboard scanners in the truck. So the Qualcomm system that I talked about earlier, we have all of those. And we do have the smart drive system, so the inward and outward facing event recorders, and the lane departure system. So they're very safety ready. They are automatics. All of them are automatics. And the ones that we're getting in right now, those are 12-speed automatics. We do with the Volvos, they're going to be the I-shift automatic. But yeah, they're 12-speed automatics, so they are going to pull the hills a little better than some of those, than the 10-speed. What else? We have the microwaves. Like I said, we're just getting some of those to get installed. And we're also installing the Epic View. The Epic View TV is, well, it's a combination. It's not only the television that's installed in there for you, but it's also the programming itself that Decker pays for. So it has in-motion program, in-motion recording. So while you're on the road and your favorite team is playing or your favorite TV show is, you can actually record it while you're going down the road so you won't miss it. So again, you can get it all scheduled in, plan your day out, and not only your day at work, but also your day at play. And so you can check that out. We'll be providing more information on the Epic View and the amenities in the truck here in the next couple of days. We'll get a video out. So like I said, if you're not already subscribed to our channel, you definitely want to do that so you can get the interior and exterior view of all of the amenities and extras that our trucks are equipped with. So subscribe and then get the bell. That's a bell. Does that look like a bell? But do that. The trucks are immaculate, but again, that Epic View is paid by Decker in addition to all of these other amenities that have been put into the truck. Now, the Sirius radio, you can get a free subscription to the Sirius radio for a year if you refer one or two or more drivers within a year's time. So if you haven't already done that, check that out as well. All right. I had one other thing that I wanted to mention. Oh, I was talking about games. All work, no play sometimes can be a little tiresome. So I wanted to kind of hit on that. We've got a scavenger hunt going on right now. We're in the middle of it. Really started on May 1st and it goes through the 31st of May. If you are not participating in it and you're a Decker driver, then you guys need to jump on. It's fun. Have some fun with it. I mean, you do need to complete all 12 tasks. They're not big tasks, by the way. Don't get overwhelmed. The 12 tasks are basically a selfie with any of the respected blocks or squares that they represent. So they're all going to be springtime related. It can be something with a sport. One of them is with a sports team or actually basketball. And the others are you and the sun, you and us, what reminds you of spring, a springtime activity, things like that. And you can actually get more information on that on our website. If you go to drivedecker.com/blog, it is on our blog. It's actually right up front there, I believe. And you can access that. So check it out. The reason I am making sure that you're checking that out and you're well aware of it, because I found out yesterday not everybody knew about it. Anyways, so the scavenger hunt, you have a chance to win $100, $250, or $500. So we've got 3 places that we're paying out for prizes and $850 worth of prizes, not too shabby. So if you want to take a look at it, that can be found on our blog. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. Again, I think I said it earlier, but it's facebook.com/DTL Inc. And all of that information is posted there. Might have to do a little scrolling, but if you go to the blog, you'll find it right away. Yeah, so play the game. Let's see who we've got for winners. You need to submit for all 12 entries. All the rules and regulations are on there, but submit all 12 entries in order to have a chance to win. And the most creative and most accurate, they're going to be chosen as the winner. So we say, let's see. Hey, Mudflap, good to see you. I'm glad to have you here today. Hope you have a little sunshine. We've got great sunshine coming in. So you can see that coming in the window. Love that. Woohoo. Anna, yes, we do have the newest Qualcomm units. Those are the IVG systems. So that's Intelligent Vehicle Gateway. And it is touch screen. So she reminded me that with the touch screen, make sure that you touch it lightly. Don't be jabbing it like crazy. You're going to want one of those stylus pins or the back of a pencil, you know, an eraser or something when you're entering in the information. It's important because it's going to take to a lighter touch than it is going to if you're mad at it and you're puncturing it basically with your finger. It's not gonna have any reaction to it, and you don't want to damage obviously the equipment. So light tapping, it's going to respond to that a lot better. And you need to certify everything. So throughout all of our discussion today, certifying is extremely important, and that's what they're holding us accountable for. Speaking of holding us accountable, we do have inspections coming up on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of June. It is the Blitz inspection. If you are not already prepared, make sure you are, whether you're a professional Decker driver or you are a professional driver not yet a Decker, then you need to check that out and make sure that you are fully prepared for those inspections. Pilot, Flying J, they have announced that they'll do a midway inspection. It's usually a $50 cost. So they are now providing that for free as a way for all of you guys to get ready, to be prepared. So what do we got here? I'm missing some of these comments. You guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, please put them in the comments on the side here and I will get to them as soon as possible. And then we can make sure that we're answering your cues. And then if you want to talk to one of the recruiters, obviously you can get a hold of them at 888-668-0698, as well as applying online, drivedecker.com. There's a lot of information about the different positions that we have available, as well as being able to apply online. So what do we got here? June 1st, we're going to have everybody transferred over with the in the IVG system, but the Omnitrax ELD instead of just the AOBRD system. So the AOBRD system was the electronic logs that we were able, because we were on those before, we were able to be grandfathered in. And so we didn't have to be switched over by the 17th or by 2017 like others. We have till 2019 because we had that grandfathered clause. Now everybody's going to be on the ELD system by 2019, and that'll get you all prepped and ready to go. It is more elaborate of a system. You are going to need to know how to run it. You're going to need to know what type of system you have. I did mention a couple of times, but I want to make sure that this is where you understand why you need to know it. The IVG system, the Omnitrax IVG, is what we use here at Decker. You'll need to know that when you go into inspector mode, well, as you go into inspector mode and you're in an inspection, again, we're going to have a lot of those between the 4th, 5th, and 6th of June. But when you go to get an inspection, the officer's going to ask you what kind of system you're using. And because we plan to have all of our fleet transferred over from the AOBRD to the ELD system by June 1st, that's what you need to know. You're going to need to know how to get into the inspector mode, and you're going to need to know that you are using the IVG system. And make sure that you have in the cab card for using it, or the user's manual, so that you can access the training if you need to at any time. But also the inspector, the officer, is going to require that, as well as an 8-day paper log that's going to be within your permit book. So the cab card and the logs are going to be in your permit book. You're not going to use your paper logs unless the ELD is broken. If the unit itself is malfunctioning or broken, that's the only time you can use it. You cannot use it to fix a mistake. You cannot use it because you want extra hours. And they're very adamant about that. If you have any problems whatsoever with your ELD system, you need to get a hold of our safety department. That's extension 8533. And we will be able to, safety department will be able to walk you through some troubleshooting items to try and solve the problem. Because odds are, with the ELD system, with the ELD unit, it could be a very easy fix if we just power down everything, power it off, and then turn the key on, power on, and start everything up. That could very well fix whatever issue you were having with the ELD system. Now, after additional troubleshooting, if they still can't find out what's wrong, then they may very well tell you to be put on paper logs, but don't do that until the safety department tells you that. Now, again, extension 8533 is for safety. Deb, she manages a lot of the ELD system, she'll help you. She does a lot of she does the logs and everything. So if you need to talk to her, her extension is 2313, right? 2313. But you'll be able to get a hold of her, and she is a bundle of information and can really walk you through some of not only the troubleshooting, but more of an explanation too if you need it. All right, what am I missing here? The training videos, you can access the training videos through the Omnitrax system, the Omnitrax website, I guess, and it's omnitrax.com/training, I believe. They are short videos, very short videos. There's at the very top of the page, it's a 12-minute video, and then below that it has 9 different sections on it. And it breaks down that initial video and has question and answer video for each of those. And it's really only, it's 12 minutes long for the larger video, and they just split up the larger video to answer all the questions. So they're like 30 seconds to 1:30 a piece. So the really short videos, don't get intimidated by the fact that there's 9. You can also access that on the driver portal in the training section, driver training. Within the driver portal, you'll also be able to access your logs for 6 months. So it does keep the logs for 6 months for you to take a look at and review back on. Print it out if you need to, or save it if you need to for tax purposes, especially lease purchase and owner operators. You want to make sure that you do that. If you don't check in every 6 months, you're going to check in more often than that, I would hope. But every 6 months, you're going to need to download that information because it doesn't go beyond. And if you do your taxes, when you do your taxes, you want to make sure you have that full year. Thanks, Mudflap. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Making sure that I answered questions. Good morning, Amy. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Okay. So did I mention, that's where I was going with the inspections. I don't think I did, but there are 22 new categories, not just different, but new categories that have been implemented for ELD violations. So you can get points against you for 22 new categories just off of the ELD system again. So again, extremely important that you know your stuff and that you complete the driver training. We will not transfer you over to the ELD system until you have completed that training on Infinity or TransFlow. But once you have done that, that's when we'll get everything updated for you. See if that. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see that link. It keeps coming back as an error for me every time we post it. But again, it's customer.omnitrax.com/training. That's the link to get those 9 very short videos that you can take a look at. Excellent. Okay, that reminded me of one other thing with the navigation guide. Okay, so she did post that. There was one other thing that I wanted to touch on. I don't remember what it was. Good story. Okay, well, it's something about the inspection, so I might have to come back to that. Oh, being prepared for those inspections. Like I said, the pilot, they're offering the free midway inspection. So take advantage of that if you can. Also, if you need information on doing a proper pre-trip, you can access one of our videos as well. Our YouTube channel has a lot of information on helpful tips and suggestions on getting those things done. So when it comes to pre-trips and heads up on the inspections, a lot of it's going to be off of the components, the brake components and things like that for this year's blitz. Okay. All righty. So let's talk a little bit more about the ELD system. Like I said earlier, it's not going to affect your actual hours of service. Those are staying the exact same thing. The only exception to that, which probably won't apply to anybody here, but there are short haul exemptions. And that's, I guess, the one question we got asked last time when we were visiting about this. The short haul exemption means you have to actually, in order to qualify for that exemption, you have to begin and end your day in the same location, exact same location. And you cannot be on duty more than 12 hours with 10 hours off duty between shifts. Okay, so that's two. Your time clock must be maintained and indicating your start and end of duty. Oh, thanks, Anna, for posting that. And no more than 11 hours. No, you can't not driving for more than 11 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. What else do I have? And cannot be more than a 60 hours and 70 for your hours on duty, and must be within 100-mile air rule from your starting location for the day. Remember, your starting and ending location have to be the exact same. And so if you qualify for, or if you adhere to each and every one of those details, then you are short haul exempt. If you fail on any of those, or you don't meet that qualification because of one of those, if you don't have one of those, then you therefore don't meet that qualification. But that's the only thing that would make you exempt from the ELD system, using the ELD. And I don't think anybody here at Decker would qualify for that. We've at least not on any of our over the road positions. So, and we will talk in a few more minutes about some of the new opportunities that we've got here at Decker, and we do have some new pay for some of the opportunities that we have had as well. So we'll get you an update on that as well. Yes. Okay. One very, very important thing to note about the ELD system and how it will basically change your habits is that really, to me, that's what it's going to do. Just like our smart drive system is there to improve your driving habits, the ELD system has been integrated, or is being integrated, to improve your habits in keeping track, not only scheduling your day, but keeping track of your day. And that's, I think, where a lot of the frustration lies for some of our professional drivers is it takes more time. It's new, so it's going to take more time, but it often asks you to certify something that you felt like that you may have just already certified. The reason it does that is that if one bit of information is not consistent with the other information that was previously input, then odds are they're going to ask you to certify again. They just want you to double check it. Want to make sure that, are you sure this is the information that you want? It doesn't always transfer over. So don't just assume that the information that is in the system for that load is accurate, or for that run was accurate. You need to double check everything. And that's what it's making sure you do by asking you every single time. Once you have certified your logs, and you do need to certify it every 24 hours, it has to be certified at the beginning of every trip. Beginning and end of every trip is when you're going to be getting those certified requests. And once you certify your logs, you cannot edit them. They cannot be edited. Now, certain edits can be made in the back office. So Deb can make certain edits, but they're very minimal, and they cannot be edited on your drive time. That cannot be changed. So that's why double checking is so extremely important. And just be patient. Be patient with yourself and don't get frustrated. And be patient with the system. It's an electronic device. It is not always going to work the way you want it to. Like everything else, it's wonderful in some aspects, but sometimes it just doesn't work as quick or as accurately as I want when it comes to what I'm certifying something or when I'm clicking on it. And that's why I say use the back of or use a stylus or the back of a pencil. I'm trying to look for a stylus and I don't have one in front of me. But that's why you don't want to pound on the screen, because you want to make sure that it's going to work. You don't want to create any damage that would cause you any delays in getting it to work properly for you, malfunctioning for some dumb reason. So again, be very careful when you're going through all of the information so that you will certify it. And it does need to be certified every 24 hours. The information that you're putting in, you are identifying that you are the driver every time, that you're accepting that drive time from before if you failed to do it. And it's basically holding you accountable to your logs. That way the back office is not making changes to the logs without your approval. And I think that they have implemented that nationwide, because they were probably seeing that with companies. And so that's why the driver is being responsible, I guess. I mean, it's your job to be responsible as it is, but once with the electronic logs, the ELD system, you have to approve it for it to be okay. A good example is if you go in and have to get work done on your truck and you fail to log out, someone else gets in the truck is moving, then you need to identify when you get back in the truck, you need to accept or refuse that drive time or whatever was, that movement. You need to accept or refuse it. If you refuse it, you need to put an annotation in there. So you need to put a comment in there on why you are refusing it. And you don't have to go extremely elaborate. There's 25 characters that you can use. And a lot of them are drop down. So a lot of them you can actually choose from an example. But so if it's shop, you can just choose that. If you need additional information, I'm trying to think of one, and of course I can't, but if you need to add an annotation or a comment to anything that you make for changes on your logs, just be brief, but be descriptive so that you will remember. It will trigger a memory for you on what happened. Because say it's 5 months down the road and you're being questioned on your logs, well, you need to be able to know exactly what you were doing. And that's why they allow for the annotation and why those changes were made. You're not going to remember everything. And this will take care of it. It'll keep track for you. Oh, I know what I was going to mention earlier. We were talking about the ELD malfunctioning and the unit itself malfunctioning and how to reboot it. And, very simple, powering down and then powering up again, powering on the unit. That's going to solve it the majority of the time. If it doesn't, and you've talked to safety and you've talked to Deb and they have told you to do something else, then you can then move on and follow their instructions. If you're noticing the malfunction, which is going to be basically a red exclamation mark on the ELD system when you log in, that's when you're going to start doing the troubleshooting. And you must report this to safety immediately. They need to know within 24 hours of any malfunction. So of course, if you are on home time and you are unaware of it, it's going to be a different story. We still have 8 days to, we still have 24 hours to take care of it and 8 days to actually repair the unit. But if you are on home time and unaware of it, then that exclamation isn't going to come up. Because I think that's what a lot of people were concerned with is, I'm logging in and now there's this red exclamation mark. I've been on home time. I didn't know anything about it. Well, at that moment, that is when that's when your 24 hours starts. That's when you're contacting the safety department and letting them know. Now, if it came up on your screen and prior to your home time and then you were shutting down, then you need to contact safety immediately and let them know so that they can take care of it while you're on home time or while you're wherever you're at, vacation or whatever, because they only have the 8 days to take care of it, and they have to be notified within 24 hours. It's electronic. It's a system that you can log into the portal both with the internet and within the unit itself. So whether it's the driver portal, the training portal, all of that. Okay. All right. Any questions on any of that? Nope. Okay. Also, if you are going on home time, do not move the truck. If you're on any type of break, like it doesn't even matter if you're a 10-hour or whatever. If you are on any type of break, you have to wait the whole time and wait an extra minute. So wait the 10 hours and 1 minute. The reason being is it goes by exact time. It doesn't round to the nearest 5. It doesn't go to the next 15. It is exact timing. So if for some reason you waited your 10 hours or you thought you did, and it wasn't a complete 10 hours, then you have to start it all over because it shows movement within that 10 hour. Remember how I said you cannot edit the drive time? You cannot edit your on duty or anything like that. So you cannot allow, you do not want to have to start your 10 hours again once you've made that movement and you thought you had your 10 hour was over. So that's why we say do your full break, whatever that break is at the time, do your full break plus 1 full minute afterwards, then do your next step. Okay. Yes, yard movement, all of it needs to be in there. And yard movement is on private property. It's not truck stop. So it's gonna be on your clock, but it's not truck stop and no access to public property. What else about that you were mentioning earlier? No. Okay, so personal conveyance, that is a question that's often asked. For personal conveyance, you have 30 minutes or 25 miles. That's the max for the personal conveyance with Decker. Any other questions on that part? Yes, always check your truck logs before you get out and end your day. Always log in. Now, you don't have to, now that I said that, you don't have to log out of the Omnitrack system every time out of the ELD. You don't have to log out. You just have to check and verify or certify every time. So examples of when you would log out would be if, of course you can when you're going on home time. If you're slip seating, then you need to log out. Gotta log out. If you are, if you're teaming, slip seating, teaming, training, if you're on a dedicated route where there's obviously slip seating, you're going to be doing that. Though that's when you're actually going to log out. So you don't have to log out every day if you're an professional over-the-road driver. However, you do need to certify every single day. You can't wait 3-4 days down the road in order to review your logs. It has to be done daily. Like I said, they're making us accountable for all the logs. If your truck is going into the shop, make sure that you log out so that making sure that the shop driver is logging out as well. Okay. Any other questions on that? No? All right. Yeah, did I mention logs need to be certified every day? If not, they do. All right, so all of this is happening here at Decker. Right now, we're in the midst of it. It needs to be done by June 1st. As a company, that's what we want, is to see it done by June 1st. All of our units updated into that. Now, If you have not already taken the training, make sure that you go ahead and do that. It's in the Infinity and the Transflow. Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up. We had a couple of people say that they were unable to access the scorecard information and some of their payroll pay stubs, I guess, on the Transflow system. We're checking in on that. I just wanted to make sure that if you were one of those people who were having problems accessing your scorecard and whatnot on the Transflow system, Transflow is working on that, and they're going to get back to us right away. So as soon as we get an answer, I was just notified that about an hour ago. So as soon as we get an answer, then we will make sure that you have got that access and there's no hiccup there for you. If you're not familiar with the Transflow app, it is very helpful with training as well as providing you information and giving you contact information, resources that way as well. Transflow app, you can get your paperwork into the payroll department using the Transflow app. Now we do have the onboard scanners in the trucks as well, but the Transflow apps seem to work really well, and then you've got them right there for available to you as well. But not only getting the paperwork in for payroll, but also for referrals. If you are a happy camper here at Decker and you meet up with somebody and they have questions about Decker, or you know somebody who is looking for a position, they've been in the industry for a while, they've got great work history, great driving skills and things like that, you feel that they would qualify for Decker, then refer them. We do have referral bonuses, and they are huge referral bonus. In my opinion, they're very big. For every driver that you refer as a Decker driver, you refer for each one, it's $1,500 as the base. That's the lowest amount. $1,500 paid within 90 days of their hire. So you get that for 1, 2, and 3 drivers within the first year. For 4 and 5 drivers within the first year, you're going to get $2,000 per driver paid within 90 days. So you get that with the referral as well. And again, all you have to do is put their information into the Transflow app. It goes to one of the recruiters. You can also call a recruiter at 888-668-0698 and let them know as well. So then you're double checking, but one or the other would work just fine. Transflow app keeps it updated on who it was that referred, and lets you get credit for that referral. And you can also check out our website, our blog, drivedecker.com/driver-referral. And we've got thanks, Anna. Anna's just posted that for you. That page right there is showing you like the leaderboard on who has the most referrals or how many referrals you've had in 2019. The more referrals you get, obviously the more pay you get. Last year, we paid out $159,000 for the referral program alone, just for the referral program. This year, we have exceeded that. Well, we have exceeded where we were at last year at this time. And we expect to exceed that significantly. So if we're getting the new trucks, like I said, so we are increasing our fleet, and our customer base has increased as well. And if you haven't already heard of some of the news that with the new runs that we've got, we'll be talking a little bit more about that here in just a few minutes as well. But if you want to be part of the referral plan, you can go ahead and do that program. I guess you can do that by using the Transflow app. That's where I was going with that. But the Transflow, that's where a lot of the training is, as well as access to getting your paperwork in for payroll and the referral bonus and much more. So a handy little program to have, little app to have. Any other questions on that? The referral program, by the way, there is a lot more information to that. So just that monetary amount that I gave you, that is just a portion of what you can get with the referral bonus. We have different levels, and at each level, you get not only an increase in the pay per driver you refer, but also additional incentives. And I mentioned earlier the Sirius Radio, so free Sirius Radio for a year. So yeah, different levels. And then there's a grand prize. The grand prize is you do have to have a minimum of 5 drivers referred, but the individual with the most drivers referred with 2019 wins a trip to Las Vegas or $2,500 cash value. So that's in addition to the pay that you get per driver that you refer. So wonderful on that one. Let's see. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we did receive the comments. We want to make sure that we are taking care of it. We're trying to take care of it, working with TransFlow to get that taken care of for the scorecard. That's another scorecard is another measurement that we use for our monthly bonus. It is the measurement we use for our monthly bonus. And you can get an extra 4 cents a mile as a company driver for our monthly bonus. You can get up to 3 cents a mile as an owner operator lease purchase for the monthly bonus. 1 month is not going to affect the other month at all. It's month by month, and it's going to be on all the miles that you ran. Oh, perfect. So there you go. Anna has provided you with the link to our scorecard and how that breaks down so that you know how it pays out and when and why. Okay. Excellent. Now, I do want to talk about some of these different positions that we've got on here that we've got available. We have, thank you. Okay, so we do have a new opportunity out of Hammond, Indiana, and I know I get a lot of calls out of Hammond. There are only 3 positions available. So 3 positions, it's flatbed, and it is daily home time. If you want more information, get a hold of one of the recruiters. We'll get you all the details. It's 888-668-0698. So basic information on this one, just to give you an idea on the pay. The pay per mile is, or it's not per mile, excuse me, the pay is actually changed from pay per mile and per load to per load, and now it's starting at $125 for the first load and $150 for the second load. So it's increased there from what we had before. $125 for the first load, $150 for the second load each day. And so that's the load per for the second load each day. Yep. And we do expect to have two loads a day on that one. That's the norm for that position. It's 2 loads. Okay, so also in addition to that, we've changed our Fort Dodge short haul pay. This is really a great opportunity because we get a lot of people looking for more home time, more dedicated routes, things like that, and we're working really hard with our customers and trying to create those opportunities for you. Well, in our flatbed division, we have short haul. And with the short haul, we can get you home every other day, or pretty darn close to every other day, and home on the weekends. What we've changed on that is we have increased the pay. So you've got a base of $1,000. So it's a guaranteed $1,000 a week and getting home every other day and on the weekends. So great opportunity for a wonderful balance of pay, weekly pay, and home time. And I know that's hard to find. So this is a fantastic opportunity for that $1,000. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't exceed that $1,000. That's just the base. That's the bottom bracket there for you. Now, the increase, to kind of give you an idea of how that has changed, the increase has been from what they were our drivers were averaging about $830 a week in that division. It was paying per mile, but they were averaging about $830 per week for that division. And now with the $1,000 guarantee, you can see that it's gone up a bit. So we've got that. That's what they were grossing, by the way, last year for those numbers. So we've been able to increase, and you do have the opportunity to make more. That being said, for that Fort Dodge short haul, if you live in Minneapolis, Omaha, Sioux Falls, or Fort Dodge, if you live in any of those 4 areas and within 50 miles, you could qualify for that short haul position. So again, flatbed, if you don't have flatbed experience, we can train. We do train for flatbed, so we have that opportunity for you as well. Speaking of guaranteed pay, we also have guaranteed pay in our Midwest regional flatbed. Now that one's going to get you home on a weekly basis. So more so on the weekends, little wiggle room on the weekends. It could be Friday night, it could be Saturday morning, but you're going to be home on the weekends. And it's a guaranteed pay of $13.50. So you're not getting as much home time, but the pay is obviously going to reflect that in comparison to the short haul position. Now, for the hiring area for the flatbed guaranteed pay, if you live from Fort Dodge to Chicago up till Milwaukee, down to Mason City, Iowa to Fort Dodge, Iowa, if you live along that route, then you could qualify for that Fort Dodge or for that Midwest guaranteed pay flatbed division. And again, that's $13.50. And you can make more than that. That's just what the base is. With our guaranteed pay refrigerated division, that's out of Midwest, that one is actually going to get you home also on the weekends. And it pays $12.50 a week. The majority of the guys that are running that, of the professional drivers that we currently have running that Midwest guaranteed refrigerated, they're actually exceeding that $12.50 a week. And that's what we want to see in all of our divisions. So we want you to not only make that guarantee, but exceed it in the fact that the number of miles that you're running, and your pay per mile, of course, is going to keep growing there for you. So keep it up. You guys are doing a fantastic job. And that's why we're able to create some more opportunities. Is we're working with the customers. We're seeing the results. You guys are doing awesome. Now, for the hiring area for the Midwest refrigerated, if you live from Omaha to Chicago along I-80, if you live from Sioux Falls to Chicago on I-90, then you're in the hiring area for the Midwest refrigerated guaranteed pay. Now, Mason City is the only exception to that. Madison, is the only exception to that, Madison, Wisconsin. But other than that, those are the hiring areas. One other thing we just added, I almost forgot. We just added the Kansas City area to the guaranteed pay refrigerated division. So one more time, I want to make sure I am clear on those hiring areas. If you live from anywhere within Sioux Falls to Chicago on I-90, or if you live from Omaha to Chicago on I-80, or within the Kansas City area, and I'm talking about, within about 50-mile radius of Kansas City, we can then hire you for that guaranteed pay for the Midwest refrigerated. That's $12.50 a week. That's the, like the safety net. You can make more than that, and most of our professional drivers do make more than that on the weekly basis. And it's just based off of what your pay per mile would be, anywhere from 44 to 50, anywhere from 40 to 50 cents a mile in that Midwest refrigerated, and based off of your experience and what the miles you ran were. So if that combo is better than that $12.50, then you're going to get the better of the two. So that's the opportunity there. We can get you home on the weekends for that one. Any questions on it? I don't think so. If you have more questions on it, go ahead and get a hold of one of our recruiters at 888-668-0698, or you can apply online if you know what you're looking for. Apply online at drivedecker.com. One of the recruiters will give you a call and we can get you going from there. So excellent. We do have a weekly, I actually have 3 positions available for this one. 3 positions if you live in the Kennewick, Washington area, Seattle, Washington, Missoula, Montana, or Los Angeles, California. One of those 4 locations, within about 50 miles of one of those 4 locations, we have a weekly home time option for you in our Western refrigerated division. So with this, of course, it's going to depend on where you live, on what running lanes you have. But if you live in the Los Angeles area, you're going to expect to get home, every week, but you're going to be running a lot of the I-5 and then some Nevada, some Arizona, but a lot of the I-5. So you'll be running in California, Oregon, Washington, probably into Nevada, probably into Arizona, maybe some Utah. That's going to be the majority of your runs. And that one's going to pay anywhere from 38 for a student to 48 cents a mile, depending on your experience. Again, 10 cents of that's per diem. You do get a penny raise after 90 days and every year on your anniversary too, especially if you're an experienced driver. So that is for the Los Angeles area for the weekly home time. Now I have 3 positions total for this. That doesn't mean 3 in the Los Angeles and 3 in Montana, but 3 for those 4 options. Okay, so I'm going to describe those other 3 options for you here in just a moment. If you live in Seattle or if you live in Kennewick, Washington, then expect to run a lot of the upper Northwest, obviously upper, but the Northwest. So a lot of Oregon, probably into California, a lot of Washington, Idaho, Utah, into Montana. And it doesn't exclude any of the other states, but we're looking to get you home on a weekly basis. So that's why the majority of it is there. You're going to be doing a lot of T calls, so a lot of swapping for those loads as well. If you live in Missoula, Montana, or around, then of course you'll leave the tractor and trailer in the Missoula terminal on your home time. And then you will be running a lot of the Northwest to probably Sioux Falls area. So Northwest to Midwest for the most part, or Rapid City, I guess, too, is the majority of it. But Northwest to Midwest, and that's going to make sure that you can get home on a weekly basis. Now, for more information, get a hold of one of the recruiters. Like I said, the pay is anywhere from $38 for a student to 48 cents a mile just to start off with for an experienced driver. And that's going to be for the Western Refrigerated Division, those 3 options. You can still run coast to coast. We do have options available for that as well. We're not limited to those 3, but with the weekly home time, we are limited. Perfect. All right. Bessemer, I do have 1 position open out of Bessemer, Alabama for a local flatbed driver. Very important on this one that you have experience, especially with coils. We do require that you have coil experience. You'd be running mostly Monday through Friday. There might be like a random Saturday, but basically Monday through Friday. And you're going to be doing a lot of shuttling and tarping and securing. So know how to do that. And we do train for flatbed, but for this specific position, we really want you to have the experience. Pay $17 an hour, and it usually starts around 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I think I hit everything on that. If you guys have any questions on any of the positions, feel free to go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to get to them. Otherwise, get a hold of one of the recruiters or hop on our website. Our website's drivedecker.com, and you can not only access the application, it's in the upper right-hand corner, it says apply now, but you can access the application as well as get a lot of the information on the positions that we have in addition to that. But if you call a recruiter, 888-668-0698, you'll be able to find out for your location specifically what we have available and what will or won't work for you. All right, and that way we can kind of get to know what it is that you're looking for and make sure that we have a good fit for it, or don't. All right, awesome. Am I missing anything else, Miss Anna? You guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Every Tuesday we do a Q&A. We have an opportunity for a Q&A. And if you subscribe and then you click the bell for the notification, that way you'll be notified every time we have an announcement, every time that we unveil some of the information that we've got, or new policies or procedures, or give you a heads up on anything like the inspections or the ELD mandate. Also note that we've got a video coming out on our new equipment, and you'll want to check that out because there are a lot of amenities that you might not know about. And so check that out. We'll give you some of those details here later this week. So, make sure you subscribe. Definitely follow us on Facebook. We do also have a Facebook group that you can join. It's called Support for Truck Drivers. And if you are if you're an over-the-road professional driver or even a family member of a professional driver, if you've worked a lot with, it might be taxes or it might be time management. It could be a slew of things. But that is there to really to help individuals out on the road and give advice from veteran drivers to some of the newer drivers, as well as some of the newer drivers have been able to come up with some helpful rewards and information that way as well to share with some of our experienced drivers. Anyways, please check that out. That's on our face. You can find us on Facebook there, and it's support for truck drivers. Excellent. All right. Well, I think we're good. I will see you next week, next Tuesday here at noon Central, and we'll talk a little bit then, as well as on Monday. We'll be visiting as well on our Facebook channel, which is at 4 p.m. Central. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. Don't forget to give a recruiter a call and enjoy your springtime. And if you are a Decker driver, then please participate in the scavenger hunt. Have a chance to win. Have a little fun. You know, a lot of work. You guys work your tails off. I just want to make sure that you're able to enjoy, relax, have a little bit of fun with it as well. So awesome. Thanks, you guys. Take care. Have a wonderful day.